Hey, I'm Aimee Powell, and I can't tell you that I dreamed of becoming an adoptive mama when I grew up. However, I did know that I longed to be a mother, and I had no idea the adventure that God was going to take me on. My husband Mac and I got married, and then 3 years later we had our first, and 3 years later we had our second, and 11 months later we had our third. As our children grew, Mac and I began again to feel the stirring from the Lord about adoption. But we never seemed to be on the same page at the same time. One day he would be excited about it and I was overwhelmed with the three we had, and the next day I would be excited and he would be overwhelmed. So we kept on praying that God would direct us. Finally, in May of 2008, we agreed it was time. We attended a meeting with Bethany Christian Services to get information about what it meant to adopt and how to get started. We were both excited and nervous. The meeting was very helpful, and in August of 2008, we began our paperwork for a domestic adoption. Adoption is not for the faint of heart, but Bethany Christian Services and our adoption specialist were there to help us the whole way. Not only did we learn how to prepare and get our paperwork together, but we also met birth mothers and other adoptive families that had gone on this journey before us. We had our paperwork completed in November, and we became a waiting family. We were waiting for the baby that God was going to deliver into our lives. In late January of 2009, we got the anticipated phone call that our son had been born. And then just a month later, he was in our home with our family, and everything changed, and it was so wonderful. And since God has a sense of humor, 11 months after Emmanuel came home, God called us to adopt again, and Bertie Claire came home and was adopted into our family. God is so good to paint a clear picture of what adoption is in the Bible. In the Old Testament, it was a big deal to be adopted. If you were an Israelite and you didn't like the way your child was acting, you could disown them by just signing a piece of paper. However, if your sister had passed away and you adopted her child into your family, there was nothing you could do to break the bond of adoptive parent and that child. So in the New Testament, when Paul talks about being adopted into God's family, what the Jewish people understood was that there was nothing that they could do to be separated from the love of God. Adoption is an incredible gift from the Lord. I do not believe that everyone is called to bring a child into their home. However, through prayer, financial, or emotional support, everyone is called to help.